Hi friends, today I am going to discuss about the business laws. I already posted the video of introduction, okay? And see the first chapter, meaning and nature of contract. And see, total number of sections in Indian contract is 266 sections, okay? There are total number of sections in Indian contract is 266 sections. And there are 11 chapters, okay? 266 sections, 11 chapters, okay? And see 1 to 75 sections about general principles of law of contract. And the next 76 to 123 sale of goods provisions. And the next 124 to 147 special contracts, indemnity contract or guarantee contracts. And the next 148 to 181 bailment and pledge. And the next 180 to 238 agency contracts. And the next 239 to 266 partnership provisions. Okay, and see in these general principles of law of contract, in first 1 to 37 contracts and essentials of valid contract. Okay, from section 1 to 37 contracts and essentials of a valid contract. Okay, and see the next 38 to 67 various ways for end of contracts. And the next 68 to 72 quasi contracts. And the next 73 to 75 remedies for failure to perform a contract. Okay, and see Indian contract is not retrospective. Okay, Indian contract is not retrospective, means not applicable before 1872. Okay, and see the next section 2A says about proposal or offer. Section 2B promise. Section 2F reciprocal promise. Section 2H contract. And see the next 2E agreement. Agreement means offer plus acceptance of offer. And see a person who made offer, that person is known as offerer, proposer, promiser. And see the person who giving the acceptance, that person is known as offeree, proposee, promisee. Okay, and see kinds of agreements: domestic, social, political. Domestic, social, political. Okay, agreements. And commercial contract. Okay, and see agreement means a combination of two promises. Combination of two promises. Okay, all agreements are not contract, but all contracts are agreements. Okay, okay, all agreements are not contract, but all contracts are agreements. Okay, and see according to Pullak, every agreement and promise enforceable at law is contract. Okay, every agreement and promise enforceable at law is contract. Okay, and see according to Salmond, agreement creating and defining obligations between the parties. Okay, agreement creating and defining obligation between the parties. Okay, and see Similarly, there are certain obligations which do not necessarily come from an agreement. Okay? There are some obligations which do not necessarily come from an agreement. For example, finder of lost goods. Okay? Finder of lost goods not necessarily come from an agreement. Okay? And sim contract. Contract is equals to accepted proposal plus enforceability by law. Okay, accepted proposal plus enforceability by law. Okay, and sim no intention to create legal relationship in case of domestic, social, political agreements. Okay, and sim section 11 of the Indian Contract Act specifies that every person is competent to contract. Okay, section 11 of the Indian Contract Act specifies that every person is competent to contract. Competent to contract. Okay, and see, if there is no consent, then it is void. No consent, void. See, for example, there is no mutual understanding between the parties. Okay, no mutual understanding between the parties, then it is void. Okay, and see next, no free consent, it is voidable. Okay, voidable means accept or not accept. Okay, for example, may or may not be understanding between two parties. Okay, may or may not understanding between two parties. And see the next one, on the basis of validity. On the basis of validity. Okay, void agreement. Void agreement. Okay, it is at the beginning itself void. Beginning itself void. Okay, and see void contract, both are different. Void agreement at beginning itself it is void. Beginning itself it is void. Void contract, valid. Valid at the beginning. Okay, beginning valid, but subsequently it becomes void. Subsequently becomes void. Okay, void contract section 2J. Okay, and see the next one, unenforceable contract. It is non-registration without the stamp. Okay, and see here, void agreement, void contract. See another one, voidable contract. Voidable contract. Okay, it is may or may not avoid, done by between two or more parties, but not the option of other or others. Okay, it is may or may not avoid, done by between two or more parties, but not the option of other or others. Okay, and see section 10, valid contract. Okay, section 2J, void contract, and section 2I, voidable contract. Voidable contract. Contract section 23, illegal agreements or unlawful agreements. And see the next, section 9, implied contract. And see the next one, illegal agreements. Illegal agreements, highly punished. Okay, illegal agreements highly punished, more rigorous, highly punished. Okay, unlawful agreements less punishable. Okay, less punishment, less rigorous. Okay, and see the next one, on the basis of formation. And see, express contract. It is oral contract or written contract. Oral contract or written contract. And see the next one, implied contract. It is also known as tacit contract. Okay, it is neither oral nor written. See, for example, inserting a coin in weighing machine. Okay, inserting a coin in weighing machine. Okay, and see the next one, e-commerce contract. It is based on internet. Okay, through internet. Okay, for example, purchasing books like that. Okay, and see the next one, quasi contract. It is intentionally not made by the parties. Okay, intentionally not made by the parties. For example, finder of loss of goods. Okay, finder of loss of goods. Okay, and see the next one, tacit contract. And see, it is also known as implied contract. Okay, for example, cash withdrawn from ATM like that. Okay, and see the next one, on the basis of formation is over, and the next, on the basis of performance. See in that, executed contract. Executed contract means, for example, at a time seller sells, buyer bought. Okay, and see the next one, executory contract means reciprocal promises. Okay, reciprocal promises. In that, first one, unilateral and the bilateral. Unilateral means one-sided. For example, reservation. Bilateral means future contract. For example, sell in future, buy in future. Okay, and see, unilateral contract is also known as executed contract. Okay, and see the next one, multilateral contract. Multilateral contract. Okay, it is the contract between two or more parties. Okay, and the next one, simple contracts. These simple contracts are also known as payroll contracts. Okay, for example, oral, written. Simple contracts must be supported by consideration. Okay, must be supported by consideration. And see the next two, formal contracts. These contracts are contract of record, contract under seal. Contract of record, contract under seal. Okay, and see the next, contract of record. It is a judgment of court or recognizance. Okay, and see here, judgment. For example, to pay damages. That means monetary compensation. Okay, for example, fraud. And see the next, recognizance. Recognizance means security amount. For example, a person released from jail with bail, then he pays security amount. Okay, and see the next, just in rem, right in rem. It is against the whole world. Against the whole world. And see the next, just in personam or right in personam. This right against particular person or persons. Okay, and see here, all agreements are not contracts, but all contracts are agreements. All agreements are not contracts, but all contracts are agreements. Okay, and see the next one. All illegal agreements are void. All illegal agreements are void, but all void agreements or contracts, all void agreements or contracts are not illegal. And see the next one. All illegal activities are unlawful. All illegal activities are unlawful, but all unlawful activities are not illegal. Okay. Okay friends, in Indian Contract Act, meaning and nature of contract is over. Next we will discuss another chapter. Okay friends, all the best. Do well, prepare well. Bye bye.